All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel and truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, fall upon all your houses. This is Brother Quanah Watts from the Arizona Great Millstone Camp. Come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It is straight to the point. Hey, man, this whole situation, man, right, dealing with the Israel, in Gaza, now going into, South Lebanon and firing into, Iran, killing, a Hamas political leader. This whole situation is now, it's heating up greatly, right? Because now, right, you got Iran talking about, raising the red flag, talking about they're going to avenge, right, the Hamas political leader, which, originally, right, he is Iranian, right? He is Iranian, as they were saying, right? He is a Iranian resident. He ultimately came back home to watch, some political event, and Israel bombed him inside Iran. Now, Iran is ultimately stating, that they need to avenge because it happened on their soil, right? So they need to avenge him, So there's been talks of them, about them retaliating, right? Unleashing basically devastation, upon Israel. Well, America, has gotten into the mix, and now they're talking about, in protection of Israel, right? Direct conflict with Iran, as we're reading, right? It says, this is on the Newsbreak app, it says U.S. prepares to counter Iranian attack on Israel within days, U.S. officials say, right? Which this is prophecy, man, right? This is prophecy taking a form, right before our eyes, man. Yes, there's a lot of shit that's going on, especially with the Olympics, right? And the situation that's going on, right? Which is evil and wicked, man. But we need to be occupied in prophecy. These things, these last two major prophecies that are coming to pass, right? Which is the MO to the TB, right? JT, Jacob's Trouble, which that infrastructure is being set up, man. Where you got a WorldCoin, right? They did their second rounds, right? Which is ultimately an experiment for UBI, right? Universal Basic Income, right? As well as it's taking people's retinas, scanning people's retinas, man. So taking people's data, information, right? That's one of the requirements in order for you to be able to receive that money, right? Which again is a step, right, in the direction of making it to where you have to have the Charagma, which we know is the RFID micro CHIP, right, in order to participate in society, as it states in Revelation, the 13th chapter, verse 15 down to 17, man, right? As well as you got what? You got the now you got the 32 NFL teams now are using, right? They're starting to use, right? Facial recognition at their stadiums, man. Right? So that just shows you that Jacob's Trouble, which is the next major prophecy, right, to come to pass, right before World War III, right? We're in that time where that prophecy alone is coming to pass, right? And it's being formed before our faces. Well, not only, right, is that being, popping off before our eyes, and now you got World War III, man, right? Which just shows you, right, that how close, that these two major prophecies are going to be popping off one after another, right? Which means salvation is close, man. Salvation is at hand, right? But I do want to touch on this war that's coming, right? It says U.S. prepares to counter Iranian attack on Israel within days, U.S. officials say, right? This is getting out of hand, right? This could be a very well, obviously a direct contact with Iran, right? Direct contact with Iran, which is ultimately going to pull a lot of nations into the mix, man, right? Because none of these nations like America, right? None of these nations, right? Because, we understand that a lot of these major nations, right? You got Israel, China. I mean, not Israel. You got Russia, China, right? Now you got North Korea, Saudi Arabia, right? Venezuela, as well as many other countries, right? They are part of a conglomerate, right? You got BRICS, right? What is that? Brazil, Russia, India, China, right? South Africa, right? You got the United Arab Emirates, right? You got Saudi Arabia, right? Which is OPEC, right? They head OPEC, right? Which is the world's leading oil producer, and as well as many other nations. I think Iran is now part of that number. I could be wrong, right? I think Iran might be a part of that number now, but all these nations, right, are dropping the American dollar, right? They're dropping trade and deals with America, So none of these nations like America, man, right? These nations ultimately want America and the American dollar dethroned, man, That's where things are headed, man, right? So this conflict very well could draw a lot more nations into the mix. What's going on, brother? Good. But yeah, man, this very well could pull, right, all the other nations into the mix, right, causing, World War III, But I do want to read a little bit of this, man, It says the Biden administration is convinced Iran is going to attack Israel in retaliation for the assassination of Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh, or however you say that name, Haniyeh, right? It says in Tehran earlier this week, and is preparing to counter it. 3 U.S. officials told Axios, right? It says why it matters. U.S. officials say they expect any Iranian retaliation to be from the same playbook as their April 13th attack on Israel. Right, it says, but potentially larger in scope, and it could also involve these Lebanese Hezbollah, right, as well as, the Houthis, right, including Iran, right. So if they were to strike Israel, right, you would have not only would you have Iran, right, the one that's raised the red flag, you would also have the Houthis and the Houthi rebels, and you would have the Hezbollah, man. Right, that's a lot of fighters, man. And I was watching a video that the brother Tazabah, had posted in, the group chat, the WhatsApp, talking about, there was a man, there was a documentary about 20 minutes long, man, 25 minutes long, right? And he was going in talking about how, the Israeli government, right, and military are split, right? Because the military talking about, hey, our guys are tired, this, that, and the third, but yet the government's ultimately talking about keep pushing on. Right, so them being, divided like that. On top of that, you got all these different nations, or groups of fighting or armies, right, that are trained, right, coming up against a very small nation, small army. And well, guess what? They have no chance, man. And this is why you see America getting in the mix, right? Because America's ultimately big brother coming to rescue, and this is why you seen, Netanyahu, right, show up in the American government, man, talking about, give us aid, help us, so on and so forth, right? Back our cause, and in so many words, This is why you see that, man. But again, this is going to spiral into something so much larger, right? It says, Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. It says, and other senior Iranian political and military officials said Iran is going to retaliate for Haniyeh's assassination. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah has also vowed to respond to the Israeli strike in Beirut on Tuesday that killed his top military advisor, right? So, hey, you see Israel's over here, man, just attacking any and everybody, man. When their fight was originally with, the Palestinians, man, right? That was their main focus. But now they're attacking, those who he believes, right, to be in some type of power, causing problems, man, right? Or coming up and fighting against him, Which these damn devils, they know what the fuck they're doing, man. They know that these are civilians, right? They know that they're, committing, mass murder, so it's only right that they get, that retaliation that happens, man. It's only right, man. But hey, you know how Israel gonna be, man. America and Israel gonna clap back, man. What's gonna make the situation worse, man? It says the Biden administration is concerned it may be more difficult to mobilize the same international and regional coalition of countries that defended Israel from the previous Iranian attack because Khamenei's assassination is in the context of the Israel-Hamas war, which has drawn sharp anti-Israel sentiments across the region. Right, man, because these motherfuckers are committing straight up murder, genocide. You know, they're stealing land. You know, which, hey, this is something that Esau has been doing for generations after generations after generations, hundreds of years, man. You know, hey, but now, right, the Lord is, is revealing who this damn devil is, man. You know, the Lord is revealing who this damn devil is. And now these nations who know who he is, right? And now he's pissed off, right? Luke 8:17, Luke 12:2, you know. Matter of fact, let's grab one of those. I'll go to 2 Thessalonians real quick. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Right here, I'll start at verse 7. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out the way. Right, so it's the Lord that ultimately allowed this damn devil, right, to be in the position that he's in, right, and to rule over these nations, man, and to ultimately, get these nations, right, and deceive these nations, right, to believe that he is this, this God-sent, human, man, when he's not, right? He's the basis of man, and now Yahweh Shem Shai is revealing it. That's why it says right here, verse 8, it says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, which is who? Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, right? It says, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And who is, or what is the mouthpiece of the Lord? It's the prophets, man, right? Hosea 12:10, right? He speaks through the ministry of the prophets, man. It says right here, it says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, right? And this is what's coming. Right? Because we understand it goes, what? Jacob's trouble, then World War III, and afterwards, what? Yahweh Shai coming, man. And we're already seeing both prophecies, right, being vastly and quickly pushed, in our faces, man. Let's go back, right? And this is why, again, these nations don't want to sit here and do business with America and Israel, man. They're done with Esau, man. Hell, even Esau's done with Esau, right? This guy got Vladimir Putin, right? Coming up against Israel, coming up against America, right? Esau is done with Esau, man. It says the attack in April was a retaliation for an Israeli strike on an Iranian facility in Damascus that killed a top Iranian general, right? Several Arab countries, including Jordan and Saudi Arabia, either helped shoot down Iranian and Houthi drones or allowed the U.S. and Israel to use their airspace to intercept threats, right? Which, hey, that shit came to an end, right? Them helping, that shit came to a whole end, right? It says behind the scenes, the U.S. intelligence community started receiving clear indications on Wednesday that Iran is going to retaliate, a U.S. official said. It says 2 U.S. officials said it could take the Iranians and their proxies a few days to coordinate and prepare an attack on Israel. Another U.S. official said the Pentagon and the U.S. Central Command are taking similar preparations to those they made ahead of the attack of in April, right? It says we expect a rough few days, right? It says, and I mean, that's really what I wanted to get on that. Yeah, I saw. Let me read this, right? The latest is several U.S. and international airlines, including United, Delta, Lufthansa, and Swiss, announced they are suspending flights to and from Israel. Right? It says the Israeli military is on high alert ahead of possible retaliation from Iran and Hezbollah. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Thursday held a meeting to address the Israel Defense Forces Home Front Command preparations. It says we are prepared for what may come. Israel's in a state of very high readiness for any scenario on both defense and offense. We will exact a high price for any act of aggression against us from any quarter whatsoever. Which is, hey, come on, man. You're the ones that's starting the problems, man. They have a right to retaliate, man. You over here, causing these fucking problems, man. Striking and killing innocent people, and they're tired of it, man. Which, hey, again, right, when we see these things, they call law Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Right? Because, again, this is only just building towards, World War III, man. Which as we read in Revelations, right, matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. I'm gonna grab a few precepts. I just wanted to give, sort of like an update. Hey, this is what's going on, because we really got to keep our eyes on this, man. Because if America and Iran does, end up having a conflict, then you have to understand Russia, right? Which Iran is the number one or the top, in a sense, right? It's the top ally to Russia, right? Iran, right? So you would be going into direct conflict with Iran, which would bring Russia into it, because NATO has something called an Article 5, right? Which when you look it up, right? Let's see if we can look it up, right? We got time. All right. Oh, slacky. Let me let's look it up, man. Because Article 5 basically states, right? It says Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty is, right, the principle of collective defense, which states that an attack on one NATO member is considered an attack on all members, right, man? And I don't know if BRICS has such an article or rule, as NATO, man. They very well could, right? So if you're attacking Iran, and that means Russia would have to get into the mix, man. Which that right there is prophecy, man. Right? Where Russia and all these nations, right, including America's allies itself, right? Let's grab that, right? Revelations. What is that? 17 and verse 16, right here, right? It says, "And the 10 horns, right, which thou sawest upon the beast," which this is going into the EU, right? Going into these EU nations, man, right? Germany, France, Spain, right? All these different nations, right? Turning against America, right? Babylon, right? It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore," which we know Babylon, right, is that harlot, that whore, man, right? Which we know the virgin daughter of Babylon, right? The Babylon the Great, right? The Babylon the harlot, right? Which is America, Everybody knows this, man. Everybody knows that when it talks about Babylon, right, it's talking about America, right? Not in every case, right? Sometimes, when going into the history, it's talking about ancient Babylon, right? Which is over there in modern day Iran, right? But nonetheless, right, in this sense, it's talking about America, right? It says, "And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." Which, how, right? Just by fire going to throw, a torch over in America, it's going to burn America down? No. Right? It's by ICBM nuclear missiles, man. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? Which are being created, right? Crafted, right? At an all-time high in these days, man. For the use of this scenario, right? World War III, right? Fuck you. All right, let's go to what did I have? Right, let's grab this. Is it Isaiah 31? Oh no, it's like here. Right, this is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 4. It says, "The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together." Right, which you go into Joel, the 3rd chapter, right? Talks about the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, which means what? These nations being gathered together, right? For World War III, and that is the place where, the Heavenly Father, right, through his only begotten Son, right, is going to judge these nations, right, which is going to be by way of what? Destruction. He's going to get rid of these nations' armies, man, but nonetheless, right, but prior to that, he's going to be gathering these nations together, right, for this major war. And this is what's going on, right? The least of the flock is drawing them out. And now you're getting Iran in the mix, Lebanon, right? Now you got America, right? And we could just see all the pieces, the dominoes starting to fall in place. I wouldn't be surprised if you start hearing talks, from Russia, man. It says Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of the battle, right? So he's mustering he's gathering the armies, man. Bringing them together. And again, it's starting right here, right? With America, Israel, right? The Palestinians, right? The Lebanese, the Iranians, right? Hamas, right? This is where it's all starting. And again, it's only going to continue to spiral out of hand. We just need to keep our eyes open, man. Right? Keep our eyes on it. And again, right, we're not just focusing just on the war, right? We understand that Jacob's trouble comes first, right? So keep your eyes on that as well, man. Right? With all this different infrastructure being put up, you know? Let's start paying attention, man. You know? It says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. And that's the goal, right? To destroy America, right? To get rid of, you know, this wicked ass land, where Amos 9 and 8, right? The sinful kingdom. You know, Lord said he will destroy from off the face of the earth. This is what's coming. You know, this is what this whole prophecy or these events, right, are leading to, right? Whether it you know, it heats up even more for here, or maybe even dies down a little bit, right? Eventually, it's going to pick back up, and this is going to be the outcome. This is going to be the result. Right? It says, verse 6, and we'll close out here. It says, how ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. This is coming, man. You know? Matter of fact, we'll grab one more. And we'll close out there. And I'll just hit the point, right? 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 11. It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in holy conversation and godliness? Right? Where are you at? Right? Where's your mindset at? What's your focus? You know? It should be on the scriptures. It should be on righteousness, man. It should be on Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, and making it out of this damn wicked ass place, man. You know, but that's all I got, man. Lord will was edifying. Lord will straight to the point. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachach, Wadash, double honor to the elder apostles, elder bishops, great millstone. Till next time, I say shalom.